You gonna ask?
I'm going to add.
Go ahead,
I would like to praise Mother Nature for bringing all these like amazing people into my life and just like always around me. And you guys are all just so amazing. And thank you for your energy and just being around me.
Can I put something in there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it just got me guys to be on too. Okay, I just want to thank y'all and God for pushing me to my furthest potential. Because sometimes when y'all want to ask, but like now I'm like really grateful because y'all brought that out of me. So yeah, thank y'all and thank God.
All right, deep breath in and out. In, out. All right, and one more.
And call it ours. Ypsilanti, and the Y-P-S-I-L-A-N-T-I. Ypsilanti, and the Y-P-S-I-L-A-N-T-I. One mic, Sakina. Where? We gonna play?
Hello, hello. Welcome to Staying Power, Concrete, Not Wood. This production is put on by the Neutral Zone, Ozone House, and the Rise Youth Center all the way from Richmond, California. My name is Sierra Gervais Tamiza Gordon. I go by CC, and I've had the pleasure of serving as the 2017 Staying Power Fellow, Poet Laureate of Richmond, California, as well as the Media, Arts, and Culture Manager at the Rise Youth Center.
My name is Dante Clark. I'm a poet from Richmond, California, and I have the opportunity of being one of the artistic directors for Staying Power.
So we want to start with acknowledging that we are on stolen land of the Anishinaabe and the Wyandotte people. It is crucial that we talk about our indigenous community in the present tense. They are still here and still continuously fighting, and we are standing beside them. We take their culture and their language and lay it as a foundation as we move through the joys and the difficult moments of being Black, brown, and indigenous. Now, our title. There is no better title than Concrete, Not Wood. This title came because Ypsilanti youth flew all the way to Oakland, California, went to this really amazing skate park that was created out of concrete instead of wood. The purpose behind that is concrete is forever, whereas wood eventually will rot and get tired and old. We want people to know that we're here forever, right? Thank you. And with that being said, we want to center the lived experiences of those that are closest to the pain. So that means indigenous folks, those that are descendants of Africans, and our asylum seekers. If you feel any discomfort throughout the show at any time, I ask that you sit with that, be present with that, and move and make space and time to think through those emotions. Cool? Awesome. Dope. So I want to leave you with a quick note on why and what even is Staying Power. Staying Power was a fellowship that was created in 2017 in Richmond, California with 4 organizations, one of them being Rise Youth Center. And what we did was we took art and we took politics and policy and all of those things and brought them together so that we could combat gentrification. Cool? And so what happened was we brought all of our young people together and they produced their own show called Utopia in the Face of Gentrification. A lot of those topics and those young people are going to be featured in the show tonight. None of that would be possible without the foundation of an amazing organization called Raw Talent. Richmond Artists with Talent. This organization was founded by none other than Molly Rayner and Dante.
So during the years of raw talent out there in Richmond, California, me and Molly Rayner was providing space for young people to process their pain, their woes, and most importantly, providing space for them to figure out ways artistically on how they can speak the visions that they want to see take place in their community. One of our productions was called Taste Harmony. It was our Richmond version of Romeo and Juliet based in our community. During the process of putting on that showcase, we filmed it. That film was turned into a documentary called Romeo is Bleeding. And with the opportunity of that film being in film festivals across the country, myself and other young folks from Richmond had the opportunity to travel around interstate and talk to communities that look just like Richmond. Ypsilanti was one of those places, and when I came here, I felt there was a connection. I saw the despair, I saw the poverty, and most importantly, I saw young folks hungry for an opportunity to speak their truth to power, hence, stay in power. So when I was going back home, me and Molly started talking, like, what would it look like for Richmond, California, and Ypsilanti to come together and do something productive? 2 years later, we are here. These young folks have been working hard, they're please show y'all love. Give y'all appreciation while East Point touch the stage. Some of them it's their first time being on the stage like this, and some of us are more seasoned, but show love to every single person that touched the stage when we had the opportunity for a round of applause. The restrooms are outside, so if you go through this exit and that exit, go around. There's restrooms over there. Please turn all cell phones off, vibrate airplane mode. We don't want anything going off that is distracting performers. There will be some intense content during the showcase, so we ask that you take care of yourself and take care of each other. And without further ado, let's kick back, sit back, and enjoy the show. Stay in power. Thank you.
Stay power, Ypsi. We are here. We are home. We are staying power, Ypsi. We are here. We are home. We are staying power, Ypsi. Really sold out.
Ypsi celebrates Indigenous Peoples Day, yet sells native burial grounds to developers. You probably seen it. Wants to keep the black culture, but remove the black people. Black culture valued, black bodies not. Black bodies lower real estate value, means black homes real at stake, makes black homies real at stake for the sake of value, sake of business, sake of city, sake of Ypsi. You probably seen it. Google will tell you, 1825, the city of Ypsilanti was officially established. False. History tells you, 1825, the city of Ypsilanti was officially colonized, officially gentrified. When they take land,
they take power.
When they take power,
they take security.
And when they take security, they take home. 1825, it was named Godfrey's Trading House. Before that, it was something else, someone else's home, some people's land. Land equals power. Land
builds power.
And if you stay, you have that power.
Only if you can keep it. You see, the conqueror took this land, stripped and gentrified the grounds that we possess, that we merit and proclaim to be patriotic. You see, they used to be indigenous, tales of a culture, names,
voices
that remain silent, ancestors buried beneath concrete and dirt that whisper,
we belong here.
For how long? Hands twisted behind backs, bones crack, eyes red, swollen with pain as they watched their words truthful laid upon deaf ears. Lands of beauty taken, To them, it was only a souvenir. To them, it was what more can they take from us? These streets are about power. Land named and renamed, bought and sold. Names that come and go, people bought and sold. These streets are about power. Broken, beaten bodies beneath poverty that sectioned off property.
You probably seen it. These streets are all
about power. And this is cemented in the politics. Cement.
Submit to stone.
Gravel.
Grave sites. The flower beds of the ghetto. They beautify this city. Call it community gardening. The hearts that harden plant those seeds and we reap the loss. Our garden that grows.
And numbers.
Our garden that's loved.
By numbers.
Our garden underground, now covered, stomped on, played on, forgotten. Our history, forgotten. Prospect Park, built on bodies that look like
mine.
If they could predict the prospect of where their bodies would be parked, I wonder if they would choose to lay to rest there. I wonder if they were seen as prospects, as contributors of this city. Were their contributions even recognized, or were they only recognized for what they contributed to the ground 6 feet deep? The Godfroys, first white family to own property in Ypsi. You probably seen it. Get street names and profits that run 6 figures deep. White bodies that owned black bodies like mine, that dropped black bodies like mine, that ran black bodies like mine, that ran black bodies out. For 6 generations. And for 6 generations till present, we reap the impact.
And the dirt.
Let it bury us. Let them bury us. Watch them play on our graves. Dance. Ypsi really sold out. Stay, 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 power. Ypsi, stay, power. Ypsi. You probably seen it. Good. How are you? How are you?
I'm all right.
A long week. Indeed.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I got you. Damn. Damn, landlord. You mold like the devil.
You always saying something.
Hey, Ronnie. Hey, long time no see. How you been?
I'm all right, man. What's up with you?
You know, I'm just chilling out here, cooling. Yeah. So, what we gonna do today?
I don't know. Those kids was over there dancing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Them kids always dancing. Like they ain't got nothing to worry about.
Come on now. I like to see these children out here investing themselves in culture.
Man, I don't care about no investment into culture.
Yeah.
I need somebody to invest in the forgiveness of my debt and provide me a check. You know it's the first.
Yeah. And rent is due.
And we know his broke ass ain't got no money.
No, y'all gonna have to stop with this nonsense.
Hey, look
Y'all
now. You never could take a joke. That's one of the million reasons I divorced you.
Get over the past, G mama. I'm talking about the present. Rent's due and we ain't got nothing. And you know what? The landlord just called me and told me that rent's rising. Now what we supposed to do? Huh?
Mark Macy said, some things never change.
Oh, but change gon' come. Now that's what Sam Cooke said. Change gon' come. What'd he say? Oh, yes, it will. Man.
Change ain't gonna come unless you come with that change.
Oh, Skeeter.
Anybody? Ooh, much obliged. Ooh, that's
Well, since you handing out, where's my cup? Shoot.
Then I just say I ain't got nothing, and you handing out money to Skater?
I'm helping out with him because people like you don't. Yeah, I don't got a lot, but I want to see change. Neighbors that actually look out for each other.
Man,
That's a real man.
I don't care about you.
If the house isn't owned by all the people around you, neighbors,
do you even know them? I remember my friend says hi to Jerry across the street, and I said, you know his name? I remember late nights on Teen Nick, friends glowing on the 12 a.m. screen. Chandler goes to borrow sugar from the lady down the hall. And I sit amazed he even knew the lady down the hall. Why haven't I ever known the lady down the hall, or the man across the street, or the kid around my age who lives in the next complex over and over again? I thought maybe I didn't want to know the people around me. Maybe it's because my mother never owned a home. We rented many in neighborhoods where most of the houses had shattered windows and black walls. Their ceilings seemed to collapse into their living rooms. My family was grateful we had a roof. Grateful we had proof we had survived our own ghetto, that we hadn't yet crumbled under the pressure of our own hood. The pressure to sell poison to our fellow man, the pressure to numb our minds so we can't at the very least remember our responsibility. The first place I remember was a 2-house flat. Our only neighbors were the roaches. 5-year-old me avoided stepping on my way to the kitchen for a midnight snack. Like the roaches, we were trying to make a home out of a house we never owned. Like roaches, we were born hated. Like the roaches, we were just working for our next meal. Unlike the roaches, when people saw us, they didn't yell, kill it. Well, some did, but others said, keep them away, hoping we'll suffocate on our own poverty. I guess younger me had some empathy. A tall man with skin as white as eggshells and beard as long and gray as rain clouds owned our home. All of a sudden, landlord sounds a lot like master.
It's June 6th, about 11:30 in the morning, and we get a knock at the door. A man wearing all black and white approaches, paperwork in one hand, clipboard in the other. Mother would not let me listen and sends me to my room. Once the man leaves, she calls us all down to break the news. That was an employee from the office, and he says we've got to the fifth. And somehow, I can't help but to wonder how we got here again. Rents do, but we still need tissue, and it's an issue that I've seen too many times before. We're forced to sell our food stamps in to make last month's rent. We starved and hungry. We stared at our bones and thought maybe we could sell those too. Beat us some use, thought maybe we could help, because Mama couldn't rely on anybody but herself, not even the state. She went to war with them for us and lost everything but our Section 8. Now we've got nothing but that, and according to the office, to the fifth. Should we be grateful? I can't be, not like this. Grateful for what? Being one late payment away from being homeless altogether? Grateful that at least we'd be homeless altogether? Grateful for what? Not even being able to afford the medication for my asthma. For the rent, we have to donate plasma, give the nutrients from our blood in exchange for a place to live. And by the end, we may not still be alive to live inside the place we sold our lives to be a part of. So no, I can't be grateful. Not like this. Surviving from check to check, living our life on a loop of time, and every time I turn around, we're almost out of it. If you stamp a date or a deadline on a home that isn't mine, there is something that you will find in its urgency. We gotta pick up the pace, find another place to stay. I take a look at the date, and it's the 27th. I don't know if we'll make it. Fast forward a few months, and we're in that same situation. They call it subsidized housing. I keep thinking that maybe if I keep at my 2 jobs that I could help. But minimum wage is barely enough for myself, and with me working, Mama says the rents went up. They go off income because they think I can afford it. There isn't really a way out of this, is there? My street has changed, more empty, more bare, more neighbors who stare, another knock, and who's there?
It's the landlord, and I am allowed to listen this time. He says we've got to the 30th. And considering the fact that I've lost everything else, I guess we should say thank you for giving us that.
In my city, it's a cycle.
Systematic, presidential, Hippocratic, top of status, single mama getting moved out of her home. It's so tragic, it's so sad because she already works 2 jobs, damn those taxes. Got the common scattered with dozens of ramen packets. What must have happened? I must have happened. I started seeing visions of success because of rapping, but stop the captain. Notifications leaving the mark, with decorated childhood and leaving the permanent score. And come March can no longer for the police. Remember having hot dogs and hot spaghetti for me in such a loud mouth of aha, you live in Ypsilanti. For those calculating burgers and YTC, I'm giving memories. You trying to move the culture out the city? Are you serious? I'm curious. You having this? I'm very lively. Oh yeah, no more public housing.
In my city, it's a cycle.
Many can relate to, most refuse to see. Hatred shown, minds blown, no trust in unfaithful. Folks labeled crazy and unstable, reasons depression sprung from such youngins. Brothers locked in cages for ages, but separation ain't new. Combining our schools wasn't to better the school system, led to fights, displacement, bodies dropped against pavement, less graduating. From fist fights to gun violence. When niggas post guns for clout and the OGs on the blocks ask for change, posted in the neighborhood on the South End Road, it's where you'll find me. Empty stomachs turn, bridges burn, lessons never learned, depending upon others like most suffer begging to belong. Paved our own path, tired of coming last from the willow to the brook. You might get your shit took or even looked at different for being a change.
Ipsy really
sold out. It's the journey that matters. People so focused on the destination, their attention span won't allow now pill heads and headaches to those who are sober from the drinker and clouds that never cleared, undecided whether college is the way. A stress-sickened family awakened to every morning with no plan each day, praying I'm not in the way. A cluttered box stuffed with history, suffocated with lies the eyes won't see, understated context, sugar-coated but unsweet like Kool-Aid. My grandfather made this grind out. It's always someone with no taste that has something to say. Wordless on Father's Day, numbing all my feelings on the next day. Mad at the world because he never got to see me walk that stage or to see me to be the man I will be. And no one feels me and it kills me in the inside like the cancer he had in his pancreas. The hunger and aggression from wood to concrete, like life, wood is only temporary. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, but please don't dare me. I'm lingering through these streets with fallen leaves, leaving odors to help my kind stress less and chill more. No struggle, no gain, it's now or never, cause there won't be no later. My anger is layered like our globe, only my core is soaked of hurt from now fulfilling what you've asked. It's hard having hope in something you can't see. All those memories leaving me with PTSD in order to heal from the past. It's hard to beat statistics when you're born one.
I'm steady trying to figure out the definition of home. I've been told it's something like a safe place filled with happy lives and support, but home for me is a tornado of chaos over a sea of pain. So, if we're going by your definition of home, I have no home. Just a couple of houses and some buildings filled with unclaimed memories, but I want one. And I know how juvenile this sounds, but I want home to be a place where everybody gets along, where every sexuality is supported, every race loved, every gender valid. I want to live in a place where I don't fear the sidewalks, where kids are lulled to sleep by crickets and laughter instead of gunshots and screaming. I'm dreaming of a home where when winter hits, you don't turn to ice, because nowadays it seems like there ain't no such thing as heat, or at least not the type that will keep you warm. It's like nowadays we're only surrounded by violence. No such thing as safety. My mama used to tell me stories of work. And it seems like every single one of them thought it was, girl, we had to call the cops again. And every time I hear those words, it would take a moment for me to process, another black boy's been shot. Her words repeated themselves in my head like a never-ending echo, because this is only happening a street or two over. This is only happening around the corner. I don't want this to be home. Don't want to live around the corner from a place where a police report drops every hour, but I'm trying to go home. Not to houses filled with unclaimed memories, buildings that are getting turned down, rebuilt with someone else's imagery. I want safety and security. I want to be surrounded by love. I want to walk through the door and mean it when I scream, home, sweet home. But we don't always get what we want. This is the closest thing to home I got, so if The heat don't work, it don't work. Maybe I'm not lulled to sleep by laughter, but at least I got somewhere to sleep. But I might not. Because the rent goes up and salaries stay down. I'm steady watching my friends and family get kicked out, forced to live on the street because newcomers have no mercy for the Ypsi community. Tired of wondering if there won't be enough money to stay here. I mean, this is my home. And I know it's a little run down, but is home really a home if the paint don't peel and the residents don't scream? Is home really a home if the couch don't smell like you? If the walls don't welcome you back? If the floors won't look for you and ask where you went? I'm just trying to find home.
Yeah.
My neighbors are young, and they like to experiment. But when their experiences catch them slipping, they grab what they can, grasping for hope, but grabbing an addiction. And as my city gets whiter, I worry about the experimenters, where they'll go, how they'll get there, if they'll continue to be forgotten. My neighbors are young, and they like to study. Study disease, study the human experience, study them, our other neighbors. They want to know why they do what they do, yet they've never considered asking them. And as my city gets whiter, they still don't see them. Just study them, pray for them. I went to D.C., where homeless people are everywhere and nowhere. Everywhere, as in the war on drugs continues to destroy that community, as in their welfare isn't even accounted for. How can we call someone a citizen if we don't even treat them like a person? And then they're nowhere. Nowhere in the aspect of no one sees them because we look up, we look down, we look at our phones, because this virtual connection is easier than to look a man with nothing in his eyes. But I saw him, and I'm worried. I saw my neighbor. He was jittery, but he is human. He grew up on the same block as me. He went to the same school as me. He scratches behind his ear. He scratches behind his leg, a rhythm of struggle. But I just see a man struggling with his reality and the dangers within. I don't want him to be criminalized. He needs to be hospitalized, to be helped, to be taught he can overcome this disease. My neighbors, they study him, but they've never even seen him.
I've been on ground level. I seen the streets, seen you happy, don't never wanna see you frown ever. I'm testing my sound levels. I only just brown niggas. You won't catch me down ever unless you catch me up without my sounds playing. How many rounds can a brother go? How many times can a nigga fall? We always question, we don't know. How many times can I pour soul and pour more like a poor boy with some poor dough? Clean the floor so stigma won't go, racism won't leave. Oh no. I've been around now, have you been to town? It don't look like streets to me. Nobody know what that means to me. Seem like they trying to take piece of me. Replace it with something for money. For money. Stupid ass little boy. Whoa. They thought they was slick, they wasn't. Thought that we was dumb, we wasn't. Don't correct me, I speak black. Give me a minute, I'll be back. I set the set and grab the facts and stay in my shit and stay in power. That's my shit. And from the Willow to the Andersons, they know my dog, they planned all this. I'm really not a fan of this. Please make my home again. Elephants that I'm not glued down. We might move out. Rent is up. What's the move now? We can't afford this shit. Guess we'll move out. Damn. For me, so I pray out to the Lord, Lordy, please go give them fortune. I know you can't reverse time and take away their horrors, but make it easier, make them receivers of so many blessings. Good life too short to be stressing, not to have your people at your side. Too short for racist guys, it's too short for you to be tripping about them bills. Although they matter, stand your ground up on this will. I'm trying to tell y'all, trying to make a way for all my people. I wanna lift y'all, I wanna see y'all With my dogs, I'm trying to put you on some game now. Not trying to fade out, trying to kill us. If not, then build us out the block house. So here's the plan now. We gon' kick them out our neighborhoods if they don't wanna listen. I remember days and we didn't have to trip out. Now we trip in, be more like fam now. Remember the good times. Florida JJ, Dynamite, don't do what they say. I was a little baby. Remember when I would go on play dates, walk on the street and see my look like trying to say we ain't pushing right or pushing at all, or not the right spot. No, I can't attack y'all like it or not. Violence ain't gonna do no good. That's how this started, or maybe greed though, or greedy these souls. We gotta be better than that. We should be settled in that. Keep moving and stay tight, you know, like family. So we supposed to be family.
We brought our booty bread to throw and watched the ducks swim our feet.
Went to Bob's gas station every day after a day at the park to buy ice cream. I rode my bike around that block.
Picking dandelions, playing hide and go seek with my whole street.
Yeah, that's a memory.
Going to the liquor store to get something to sip on for 79 cents.
Of course, that's a memory. 4100 Carpenter Road is where we would meet. We play at Zap Zone until we caught the newest flick at Raves.
I remember lunches at Big Boy almost every Saturday. Climbing trees in the backyard on Washtenaw, walking to Dom's Bakery on the daily. Even those memories smell like walnut brownies.
My grandparents would take me to Gordon's Five and Dime every time they visited.
Took care of my first dog in Ypsilanti. Fell in love with man's best friend. Used to sneak in the basement at night just to pet him.
That old mill was always there. Pops rarely ever caught anything, but he always took me when he could.
Peninsula Place always looked like a palace growing up.
The liquor store would make me feel rich. Quarter cents would buy me a lot. Whipping around parking lots of abandoned school, them curves taught me how to drive.
First day in Ypsi, over the tracks, over the hill, through the woods, welcomed me with open arms. New Ypsi Boo at the river, at the Huron River Park, getting me hip to Ypsi's history.
Nothing mattered back then. Didn't worry about losing sight of Ypsi, now it's fading away.
Going to the Canyon Lady's house used to be my favorite part about living in Ypsi. All childhood troubles of the day were swept away by sugary sweets and candy.
Favorite places have disappeared, had to make new ones, hunting for some place that was still original Ypsi.
Before the bowling alley became Fresh Time.
Before Kmart became the at-home store.
No home at the at-home store. I miss my life being convenient, like the convenience store. Bonds, it was called. But now it's a Save a Lot, but I'm not saving a lot in this newfound Ypsi.
But this is still my home, where I belong, where my brothers and sisters belong. Where Black, Muslim, Latinx, Asian, and white people belong. Not by the acts of force, but by the acts of just living.
This is still my home.
I love to go to La Torre with my friends.
Ice cream time's the spot everyone goes to.
My favorite place to go to is Riverside Park. There's always so many different kinds of people there, all able to coexist, always showing kindness to someone they think could be their neighbor.
My first favorite memory happened on 2nd Street. That house, second to the end of the street on Bite, that backyard caught my falls.
Those fences,
hugged me.
those trees,
watched and protected.
those trees,
fed.
those trees,
my forest,
my haven,
safe space, and it hugged me. That house was theirs, but this backyard, my world.
My globe.
My home hugs me.
Patches grew on my grass, but Blade be resilient and still cut my falls. Those fences, my walls.
This land be mine.
Although named under Hall.
This my world,
my home. And it loved me.
G-Mama. Girl, is that you?
Good morning, good morning. Good morning,
Girl, what you
Madam
out here
Honey.
doing?
Me? Mm-hmm. Nothing really.
Yeah.
I like to just sit out here these early mornings and watch over these kids.
Who? Them over there.
Yeah, them over
Girl, you ain't they mama.
You silly. I ain't gotta be they mama. These kids are out here this early every single morning to take an hour-long bus ride to those Ann Arbor schools. They are clearly fighting to have a better education, and so in any way we can as their neighbors, we should help to watch over them.
It depends on what you mean by better education, G-Mama.
Here she goes.
What? Just because those Ann Arbor schools got better technologies and better textbooks. What's taught there ain't always good for our youth, our color.
Okay.
And they sending their kids out there for what? Better environments, better behaviors? I'll tell you this, you can't fix everything with whiteout. And they sending them children out there to them Ann Arbor schools. Oh,
Man, I'm making all this racket. What y'all doing?
Oh, I'm sorry if you was trying to sleep.
I was.
But these kids are out here bright and early to take that long bus ride to them good Ann Arbor schools, which clearly Madam Honey here disapproves.
Now, I did not say that I disapprove of anything.
Now, I do know a little something about the education. If you mind, I'll sit right here. Shoot. Ha, ha, ha. Now, back in the day, we didn't have the choice to go to different schools, but for my kids, I provided. For my kids, I was there. For my kids, I made an obligation to be there.
Nah. See, I
What the
don't
heck?
trust none of these schools, yeah. That's why growing up, I had all my kids homeschooled.
You mean street school? Looking like Oscar the Grouch.
Well, damn, you ain't nothing but a 3-day notice from looking worse than me. Besides, what you call street school, I call independent studies. Yeah, I graduated top of my class with honors out that HKU, Hard Knock University.
Now you see that right there?
That right there, that's exactly why we keep our kids in school, fool. Get them out of these streets.
Out of these streets, but not out of their community.
Okay.
You're right about that, Madam Honey G. Mom. I'm gonna go talk to these kids about giving back to their community. Hey, y'all youngers, I want to teach y'all a word called investment. Starting with me. You spare some change?
I'm glad he gone. He got me messed up.
People from all walks of life ride the bus, yet the people who ride the bus in the morning look different. The man who grips his book in a hand like a priest with his Bible, I can tell his body aches. I can tell his eyes have seen every brick in his city. I'm afraid that the beauty in every brick in his city has kept him captive. But he won't let it trap his mind. The woman who coddles her child in one arm and her dreams in the other. She doesn't have any hands to ask for handouts, but she has a bus card, a daycare that opens at 7, a class that starts at 7:45, and the strength not to listen to those who whisper she should have kept her legs shut, or yell, shut that damn baby up. And then there's me. The first bus drives through my neighborhood at 6:05.
When I see the bus driver, he looks at me like he knows me.
Just from saying, hey.
Good morning.
May I have a transfer? Thank you.
We've done this routine so many times, our haze turned into head nods. Our good mornings transfer themselves to smiles. He presses the button to give me a transfer before I even pay fare. My 5 a.m. alarm left behind a carcass that still haunts me. Reminds me why I said it in the first place. The bus ride to school is a long one, and my bones needed time to prepare. So I collect them in a bag of skin, run hot water over my flesh, wash away yesterday's anxiety, because the snooze button can only be pressed so many times before I'm late. And teachers take points for being late. And I stayed up to 1 a.m. to half-ass my homework I know I'm not getting full credit for, so I can't afford to be late. So I came early every day, before the teacher walked in, before the bell rang.
And later, the bell rings again. For this, I sacrificed my well-being. Continue the daily ritual of catching the 6:53 like clockwork. For this, I'm forced to keep my composure, of enduring microaggressions, of touching my hair, of asking only about my mother over again, when the words NAACP fumbled out of the principal's mouth, when the kids who lived in Ann Arbor got the free bus cards, when the bus breaks down and we hold our breaths. How come the black girl has to suffer in every poem?
has to swim through the hallways of white suburbia every Monday, hold her breath when she gets caught by the fish hook. It is freshman year, and a boy loiters around the hallways with a Trump shirt. On a Monday, another girl touches my hair without my permission. Asked me when I would take my braids out. Wanted to know how a petting zoo looks like. After class, a teacher guilt trips me about my grades. My mother's story spilling from her lips. I don't flinch. On a Friday, I see the principal's letting a black boy get tased in the street, yet he doesn't make the morning news. The cell phones in their hands, also a weapon. The only ones that fought for him were the ones that looked like him.
Looked like us.
It is February, and some teacher still rambles on about some subject that isn't Black History Month. It is February, and I still remember the wall of slurs written down in the hallway that they didn't dare speak about. It is February, and our BSU is once again ridiculed by the kids at weaker privilege. A week after, 3 police cars are parked underneath the arch, the telltale signs of, don't mess up, we're always watching.
Even in middle school, I felt it. Trigger pistol potty mouth, but hesitation to reveal my race. Found white easier at school, biracial only when it called for being a funny black kid, stereotyping himself with some students, other teachers. Former friend built the courage to ask for guidance on how to be more black. 9th grade, called former friend saying nigga at the bus stop because he thought no black people were around. 10th grade, found myself convinced to read for Troy Maxson in a room rumbling, oh, who's gonna read the lines with the N-word? I take the most presentable parts of me and bus 45 minutes to a school that fought me for free lunches. Made me decide whether the better education means I don't eat breakfast that morning.
Because teachers take points for being late.
And yes, y'all, I'm tired of hearing a whitewash version of Black History Month. And yes, y'all, up until a year ago, I felt safe as a self-deprecating mixed kid in school. Teacher, why do the other students think I'm easy access to black culture?
Why can't I get a better education closer to where I live?
Why am I always sinking while everyone else stays afloat?
Why am I expected to have bus money every day?
To catch the early bus for breakfast.
Why are they always making a mockery of black girls like me?
Treat me like a newfound disease.
I'm here. Pick me apart.
Like an equation, solve all my problems.
They say half the battle is shown up. I'm here.
I'm sorry.
This poem is for those who have to bus home, who have to walk home. No car to carry them safely to their door. This poem is for those whose tongues were cut for saying no, for braving through the dark of night, with their keys intertwining with their fingers like a lost lover, or mace making a home in the palm of your hands.
I'm scared to walk the streets at night. I'm scared to walk them in the light. Terrified to walk in my own neighborhood alone, because once upon a time, someone forgot the definition of no.
When I was 11, my mom gave me the talk. You know the one. To be in the house when the street lights come on, never take candy from strangers type of talk. She enforced those rules pretty heavily. With me anyway. With my brother, she'd let him stay at the basketball court with his friends until it got so dark they couldn't see the hoop anymore. He's a boy, she told me.
My friends and I dressed up and took pictures outside. We didn't think any harm could come from fun. We started getting noticed by a man in his bike, and when we didn't respond to his yells, he pedaled after us, calling us sluts and bitches. We ran like we never ran before, cried as we walked home, took off the clothes and threw on sweatpants. This isn't the first time. I don't tell my parents this time. I keep it a secret this time. I know it will come again.
See, justice for my body isn't me walking down the block feeling sexy until I pass 3 guys, 1 drunk and a teenage boy on a bike, undressing me with their eyes, objectifying me like an upside-down Playboy magazine.
This poem is for the moon. It seems like the only thing watching out for me on my way home, spilling out a guiding light before me even when the street lights wouldn't. This is supposed to be home. I'm supposed to be safe.
As I got older and more curious, I was threatened with the constant belief that if I was out even just a single minute past the sunset, that I was going to be picked up and tossed in the back of some unmarked white van. A minute is all it took, she warned. Some way to think of the world at only 13.
My walking routine is just that. Routine.
Deja vu, if you will.
Speaking of, the brothers that stand in front of Deja Vu by the transit always say, Assalamu alaikum.
They greet me like a queen and call me just that, and then proceed to bow their heads and humble their presence. Is this the power I manifest?
See, respect is appreciated, but can get out of hand. I recall a time I passed the crosswalk in downtown on North Huron Street.
The leading car triple honked our way.
As I focused my attention on the driver of the vehicle, I noticed his head follow my strut.
In his hand, blow me 3 kisses.
As I think of 3 wishes.
I wish you would stop staring at me.
I wish you would have never honked for my attention.
And I wish you would keep your kisses to yourself. I didn't ask for them.
When I was 15, she gave me a lanyard with pepper spray already attached.
Use this in case of emergencies.
Emergencies my brother wouldn't be having, I assumed, because she didn't give him one. Now that I'm a woman, conversations like these are the ones that I remember. I get flashbacks of these moments every time I'm put in a situation that leaves me in the awkward position of looking into this man's face and at his dark skin lit by only the street light and firmly stating that I am not interested in anything, and yes, I do mean anything that he could ever possibly have to offer me.
Justice isn't me feeling like Janie, trapped in an unrighteous box. I want to watch God too. See, justice from my lips is a dream, a desire, but I cannot reach it. But until then, poetry is justice from my lips.
That's why I'm afraid of the dark. Don't laugh when I tell you it's because downfall flashed before my eyes. I don't want to hear that women are just over dramatic. No, we're cautious in there because seeing of a stranger's eyes or the whispers to your friends. Be quieter next time.
Actually, don't speak on my body at all.
But somehow this has become our norm, groped and grabbed.
We've been given a body men feel they have an all-access pass to.
In the U.S., 1 in every 3 women will experience sexual violence in their lifetime.
To me, a woman's worst nightmare is a man who wouldn't take no for an answer.
A man who shows all his wolf teeth with no sheets clothing.
At the age of 18, it seems more dire, though. Every predator just wants a touch, a taste, like a glimpse or a race to see who can fuck the youngest female first. See, first it starts with a compliment. You have pretty eyes, your lips are a nice size, their hand moving closer to your thighs, and they don't know what no really means. None of them do. At least that's what we're taught to assume.
Now, as I continue my way to the post office,
I go through a state of paranoia.
Is he following me?
What did that car look like again?
Which direction did he go?
I forgot my mace today.
But I prayed today.
And prayer is stronger. That's what mama say.
But what if he prayed today?
Maybe I misprayed today. Maybe I'll get slayed today. Maybe I'll get spared.
Maybe he can spare me the worry. Got me walking in a hurry.
Taking the long way there.
'Cause it's well lit.
And the safest places ain't safe.
57% of all reported homeless women report
that domestic violence is the main cause of their homelessness.
This poem is for those whose tongues were cut for saying no.
In the United States, 84% of Native women will experience violence in their lifetime.
47% of transgender people are sexually assaulted.
Headlines: another black woman was killed for rejecting a man's advances.
Saying no is a death sentence on yourself. I see a woman that looks like me on the news.
She who lays lifeless because of fragile masculinity. Brown sands for eyes now gray and dull.
In America, 3 out of 4 women will be called a dog before they turn 18.
I am 14 and a man calls me out my name?
Sorry, Ma. You're a bitch anyway.
If I don't hear the word loud enough, I will take myself out of it.
Bitch, and I kick dirt into the eyes that perceive me as soiled.
Bitch,
and I feel 10 feet tall and will not break.
Like a brick building, I will not move.
We want something more than just a moon to guide us. Because what is the moon without its people to shine on?
No more dim street lights, too artificial. We want the real light.
We're talking sunshine and starlight.
Make airplanes tell us the way to rise.
Surprise those who thought we could never walk alone. Look at how we fly now.
A star that will not die out.
We're bringing the moon back.
A symbol of the strength that takes to rise up above it all relentlessly.
And like the moon, this will have phases.
In each one, we see this change become closer to reality.
And if a full moon represents the finished product of our movement,
then expect to hear some wolves howling soon.
Black man.
Boy,
what's the matter with you? Don't you know no better?
Watch out, little man. You think it's a game?
Boy, you ain't no good.
Just like daddy.
He ain't done nothing good except walk away.
Don't you walk away from me, black boy.
Black men all the same. They ain't shit.
Don't relate me to somebody who wasn't raised the same way y'all was.
Kind of crazy how that work, right?
Get grouped with my species, but they don't try to understand my turf. Tight.
But that's just life, right?
Get over it.
You a man.
You strong.
You see what I'm saying?
You be all right?
You see, I'm already hit with so much bullshit. You see, my street ain't my street no more. A white couple moved in and called the cops to me like this day neighborhood. Get over it. This today's problem, not tomorrow's.
Like, hey, don't you forget that you black in this racist country. You the most hated. Got the biggest target on your back, even by your own people. Can't tell who with you and who not.
Code switching. Leather yesterday, but now it's fur today. Act friendly, but you tough for any other day, but that's plastic.
But if I don't know how to change my attitude, speak the white man's language, what am I supposed to do? Stay true?
Stay real.
Keep it 100, G.
It's what we're supposed to do.
Tell me what I'm supposed to do then. There ain't never been no real rules to this. Pops ain't never gave me no guidelines even when he was there. Nigga can't teach me about living as a black man when we stuck behind that glass wall or behind that bottle.
But you see, you make the rules to this. You see, the hustle taught me what is a mistake without a lesson. See, the best teacher in life is your own experience. They say every man is defined
by what? The wrong steps? The one time that we don't do something right?
Express our emotions?
Lash out from holding our tongue for so long?
Pop off?
Then by definition, a lot of black men is locked up right now for that first offense.
So we don't get no second chance.
Stuck in the clutches of countless chains, believe my truth. It's hard to explain this black blood only fuels this system.
So can we call this place home?
Can we call this city home? Can we call this country home? Believe that liberation was meant for me.
Meant for me to escape this place that slaps the label prisoner and strips my identity.
Makes me lose sight of what was instilled in me. Even my father told me I came from royalty. I can't help but want to believe in his prophecy.
So why? So why do I feel like this strange fruit hanging? The color stuck to my skin, I can't take it off. You don't know the cost. Keeps the cops banging on my block.
Born into a system, charting a course straight into a wall.
Planning every step like it's chess.
Making me believe I gotta keep this thing on me. Control something, because it always feel like I can control nothing. But I made me into the man I am today. I made this place my home.
Incarcerated my pain.
Internalized my fear.
Women seem fragile, kept me solid.
I built myself from the ground up.
And put the weight on my back no matter the cost.
But what you lose? My home.
My respect.
My integrity.
My queen.
And
for these reasons,
I'm
sorry.
I'm sorry I didn't have your back as much as you had mine.
I'm sorry that my depression pulled you down in the dumps with me. It'll make sense for me to keep my pain and make you pay penance.
Especially for a sentence that started with I love and ended with
I'm sorry.
My words did not reflect my actions. I'm sorry I treated you as if you was the problem.
I'm sorry I took your love like it was owed to me.
It was easier to turn a blind eye when that eye traveled and lingered
than to take my chance of being outcasted.
Only with self-help meditation sessions with myself recently, I realized that
I don't know what it's like to be a woman. I know to be one, you don't have to have a uterus.
I don't know what it's like to be a man, apparently. I know the definition of man is masculinity, but that's just humorous.
I don't know what being non-binary is like. I know it's probably hella uncomfortable when your family does not understand.
I don't know everything, but I'm starting to understand some things.
Every day I ask my shadow what the right way to love someone is. We're tired of this box. Whether incarcerated or not, we're walled in.
By this pressure to be hard, emotionless.
We hear you.
But we're tired too.
Can't you see we protect you to our own detriment?
Moon eclipsing itself for the sake of night sky?
Without hearing thank you, without asking to say it.
Black men are 20% more likely to suffer from depression.
Yet 26% less likely to go to your therapist.
Funny how 6% can represent 5.59 million men that don't want change.
I guess we gotta start being honest about our mental health.
We gotta show up for each other.
And I need to learn how to lean on my brothers.
I need to speak on my feelings.
We need to smash the silence around rape culture.
Draw my guys back on that cat calling. Most times partners left free falling. Give men a new asset. Don't treat them as objects. Stop little homies from eyeballing what they shouldn't be.
We gotta smash this binary boxing us all in.
Where's the space for our trans, our non-binary, our two-spirit friends in this poem?
In these streets.
They say Ypsi's becoming a safer city.
They're trying to clean the walls of us.
Paint over graffiti of our names, our joy, our pain.
Proof that these streets once belonged to us.
Hard to see history when it's plastered over with cheap for sale signs. Hard to see the bigger picture when we're still looking at tiny frames.
Hard to come together as a whole when the whole city changed.
This morning, my shadow gave me an answer.
Said love low-key hit different.
It's easy to love the person next to you when you love yourself.
In darkness, everyone's my shadow.
In the struggle, we all we got.
We all different buses trying to get to the same stop.
But our differences don't have to divide us.
We want more than streetlights to guide us.
Tonight, we're bridging the gap.
Tonight, we're bringing the moon back.
One 1,000, two 1,000, three 1,000 scattered thoughts. Dad was never home, and that's his fault, but they treated us like we were locked up too, as if we were found guilty for just being alive, but that's just what it is. Isn't it? Scattered thoughts. The things I know. I know what jail sounds like, and I know that the canines there are why I'm so scared of dogs. I know that prisons are the only gated communities that I have ever seen. They even got security. Scattered thoughts. The things I know. Every month the food stamp card declined. It was never enough. Dad was never home, only he's locked up. But we were the ones imprisoned by the system, in the system. Scattered thoughts. The things I know. I know that it's hard to get into a homeless shelter unless you got kids. I know that fireworks and gunshots sound the same. I know that it's hard to get Section 8, and that once you get it, you can't let it go until you're fully established, because I know that it's hard to get back. Dad was never home, only he's locked up, but we were the ones imprisoned by the system, in the system. Scattered thoughts, the things I know. I know that they cut food stamps once the eldest child is 18. Or once you make a little more than you used to. I know that in order to keep government assistance, you have to keep up with the new paperwork they give up almost weekly, because Dad was never home. I know Walmart shoes last a good 2 weeks, but we worn for months. I know that I teach my brothers not to walk with headphones in their ears, because they always have to be aware of their genetic weapon that threatens called skin. I know what saving snacks from school tastes like. For dinner, Mama was at home. Mama was at work, because Dad was never home, and that's his fault. They treated us like we were the ones in prison, so is it his fault? Scattered thoughts, the things I know. Is it his fault that we had to make our beds out of our clothes? Is it his fault we felt like prisoners living in a world where we live like bored convicts? I know statistically, as a black youth, I'm 4 times more likely to be incarcerated than my white counterparts. They already treat us like criminals. No wonder our peers don't care to commit crime. Fact. Check. As a black youth, I live like I've already been incarcerated. Call us juveniles, because Uncle Sam's American dream for the colored kids is a prison cell. No White House or a white picket fence, but there's a white man in a barbed, wired fence. Scattered thoughts, the things I know. Our daddy's hands feel like glass. At least that's the only way that we ever felt it. Through a clear glass window. Scattered thoughts, the juveniles with clean records. But when they have records, adult prisons, I know that 58% of African American youth are sentenced to adult prisons. Scattered thoughts, I know that 1 in 3 black men are expected to go to prison within their lifetime. That means 1 in 3 of my brothers, uncles, sons, fathers, cousins anticipate going home. Scattered thoughts, the things I know. Dad was never home. And that's his fault. But they treated us like we were locked up too. As if we were prisoners. The juveniles with clean records. Because Dad was never home. The things I know.
Gotta figure out how I got. Hey, Ronnie, where you going? Why you gotta run? Shoot, don't you turn your back on me. Hey, I've been meaning to ask. Come on.
What's up, man?
I've been meaning to ask, but where you work at again?
You know I work at the university.
Oh, so you a professor?
Nah, I ain't no professor.
Oh, so that means you must be scared.
Shut up, fool. I am, with this new promotion, of course, head of janitorial services.
So you out here scrubbing shit stains out of toilets now?
And they are paying generously for it.
Well, how much they paying you for it then, Ronnie?
It was 12, but with the promotion, 15.
Ooh, 15?
Mm-hmm.
And you know it's the 15th, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking if you getting paid, then I should get paid too.
How'd you come up with that, Tommy?
All right, so I was thinking, right? Our retirement checks don't cover the raise of the rent.
Yeah.
And I was talking to the landlord like I was talking about earlier.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Just hear me out. Hear me out.
I don't know, man.
Hear me out. All I'm saying is,
No, listen, I don't know, man.
Yo, what y'all talking about over there?
Yeah, Tommy said y'all can use some cash.
Well, don't listen to him. Just because this boy don't want to go out and get his own money.
but we can use the cash.
Okay, and you don't think that he needs it? He got to pay bills too. He's in the same situation.
No, he's not.
Okay, even if he does give us the cash. What about next month? And the month after that? And the month after that? That won't change nothing, and we all gonna end up being put out. That ain't no better situation than the one we are in right now.
Look, now, I wouldn't be asking if we ain't need it for real. This won't solve our problems, and yeah, you're right about that. But weren't you just talking about how you needed some extra money for some new shoes, a recliner for your back problems? All I'm saying is, this is our hope. This is what we can do. Just because you too stubborn to ask, don't mean I'm not.
Stubborn. Me. Stubborn. Your stubborn self is the reason we got in this mess. You never wanted to get a job after retirement, and you know my doctor said I can't work because of my disabilities and all.
You know what? You really love to put all the
Tommy,
blame on...
do you ever be thinking? Seem like you don't ever be thinking. Like you ain't never got no kinds of answers except to ask someone to do something for us.
Girl, I done told you since high school his behind was lazy.
And you still wanted to marry him, so look, here we are. You can't change what you can't change. Like the past. But we can change this situation if you would just work, Tommy.
Or if I would just ask someone.
Oh, he's pitiful. Stop talking lazy.
Hey, Ronnie. Like I said again.
Nothing.
Will you leave him alone?
Man, don't mind her. Don't mind her. Shoot, she's just always, she getting that age. She getting up
Always
there.
asking for money.
Who the kids?
Tourist and Ipsy. What are y'all doing here? You must be looking for Ann Arbor, the Blake Transit Center. What are y'all doing in Ipsy?
No, we're in the right place. We're visiting from California. My cousin live up here.
Your cousins need to be visiting you. Ain't nothing in Ipsy. Go on and go from Cali to Ipsy. Ain't that better?
No, my cousin said that Ipsy's a lot like Richmond.
Oh, you mean Virginia DMV?
No, Richmond, California, near Oakland.
They talking about Coach Carter.
Coach Carter.
Yeah. I love that movie.
You said that Ipsy's a lot like Richmond. Tell us about where you come from.
All right. We come from corner stores and Sunday schools.
From a divided, dysfunctional city, but where the function is always a vibe. A city of warm memories.
Trapped by cold justice system. From police sirens, from air always smelling of weed, piss and alcohol on the bus, having to deal with a big cigarette in my face
That we call Chevron. A smoke cloud of toxicity so much it once covered blocks and blocks of our city, leaving us burdened with asthma and health conditions.
We come from poverty. Always having to buy a $150 bag of chips in a dollar Arizona because we don't have enough money for food.
A long list of black-owned businesses budding from the concrete jungle floor. From our mothers, their strength, a small, strong force of nature like ocean, always moving short.
Our veins have the language that we keep in our blood, music flowing straight to our hearts.
And then there's the concrete, the hard shit, the moments that we survived.
while carrying layers and layers of ancestral prayers, chanting a mantra of, I am my sister's keeper, I am my brother's keeper, keeper of sanity and song, and here in our beloved city is where we belong.
And that's on period.
Our city is filled to the brim with ancestral magic. Can't you see that glow on us?
We come from a people that's too ocean to drown, too earthy to be buried, too much of our mamas to back down. Hear us and hear us now.
Our city is not for the taking.
That's what I like to hear. Okay, now I don't generally like kids, but you babies are the truth.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too, baby.
Hold on, I think I see my cousin over there. It was nice meeting y'all, but we gotta go.
Okay, well, bye now. Take care.
Go ahead
No,
now.
I'm the
This is Smith about
Come
it.
on, baby.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Sure.
I
Beautiful.
can't wait
I
to go
love
home
to
and
see
lay
you.
down.
Love
Yeah.
to see you.
Shelly Shell.
Hey, what's up? You finally made it.
You know, I've been telling you my whole life that I'll be visiting, and you know I gotta bring my peoples with me. Oh.
Hey, I see him.
Hi, my name's Marlene.
What's up? I'm Ann.
What's up? I'm Nari.
Hey, I'm
I'm Rachel.
And of course, I'm Giselle.
It's nice to meet you all. Y'all want to hear something funny? Your neighbors thought we were lost.
Really?
So this is interesting. Look a lot like the rich.
Yep, I see corner stores already.
Ooh, ha. And there's the white lady walking her dog in the middle of the hood. This is a lot like Richmond.
Hey, if I snatched her money but left her this here merchandise, is that considered a robbery?
Yeah, this is a lot like home.
Yep, but colder.
And grayer.
You guys are the ones who decided to come here in December.
Yeah, it's cold as hell, but we still love Ypsi.
Then go on and bless us with a history lesson then.
We'd love to. My friends tell me that Ypsi is dangerous, that they're afraid to walk in the morning, noon, or dusk. Never knowing what's around the corner, they feel safer in a whiter city where there's less violence and less crime.
My parents tell me business is better with these new shops. They're adding new clientele.
But their new clientele all look the same, and now I feel unwelcome.
That new Ann Arbor bar really ties everything together.
They call us urban, but they only know Urban Outfitters.
Now I don't need to go all the way to Ann Arbor for my yoga classes.
Your cultural appropriation isn't worth my culture's erasure.
Increased rent isn't a problem with daddy's money.
Generational wealth, something I've never seen because our mules were impounded and 40 acres stolen.
Ypsi is like so ghetto, but we'll make it nicer.
White savior complex. They call us violent, but never acknowledge the violence and segregation and erasure. My city does not need saving.
My city does not need saving. They say there's no redlining in Ypsi.
But their neighbors will never look like me.
They say there's no redlining in Ypsi.
But still, my neighborhood is patrolled and theirs is watched.
They say there's no redlining in Ypsi.
But Ypsi High is the blackest school in Washtenaw County and receives the least funding.
We tried to break down the system, but they ran us over with tar and drove 90 miles per hour over our unmarked graves. They do it every time, just like on Water Street, acting like that once nourished land isn't home to an indigenous burial site, acting like dumping toxic waste isn't further disrespecting the people, acting like we're not there, acting like we could afford to live there, leaving us to rot.
I-94, who knew an interstate could be so racist? Cut right through us like we're not even there, breaking us apart, then trapping us with the walls, blocking the noise pollution and the view to my neighbors.
They want our city, but it is ours. They say there are no powerful black people from Ypsi.
H.P. Jacobs,
a self-freed man who founded a local school and church. That school and that church make Ypsi what it is today. Those two places make the black community in Ypsi what it is today.
And we thank him
for his guidance. George de Baptiste,
a man born free who helped save hundreds of people from slavery. He was a caterer, a barber, who helped found a secret black society protecting the black life, perfecting the crowns of his people while protecting their lives.
And we thank him for his
fearlessness.
Bernice Kersey,
a teacher loved by all, loved so much that everyone around town knew her. She was a resource, a source of inspiration, a source of hope. fired from her job so a white woman would have some Negro children to save. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean teach. But Bernice was determined and would teach in Ypsi again, be a source of hope again.
And we thank her for her determination.
Issa Stewart
escaped slavery and founded the Brown Chapel AM Church. She and her husband provided a safe space for the Black community to thrive and grow.
And we thank her for her leadership. These people paved the way for us.
Their power remains strong.
And they will help us keep our city.
And with that, let's go to our Ypsi.
Hey, guys, come on.
We got through that. Finally.
Here we go. One more.
Woo.
All right. All right.
All right. It all smells so good. All right, everyone, bow your heads as we pray. Lord Almighty, we gather here together before you today by your grace and blessing over this delicious, unhealthy, but wealthy to the soul.
Expensive.
And still, Lord, we are blessed.
Yes. I hear that. And type 2 diabetes.
About to be top 3 after this.
Unhealthy.
Expensive.
But blessed be the meal you have provided for us, oh Lord. Fried. Where is the salad, oh Lord?
Yeah, tell them, G-Mama. You know our salary can't afford salads.
And still, Lord, you provide. Please forgive thy neighbor's ignorance. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. We eat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we eating.
Man, I thought you all come around when you need something. Hobo.
All the time.
Hobo.
You're always eating the same thing, I bet.
I mean, he is right. And I don't see why new restaurants pop up in Ypsi all the time.
Oh, and what you gonna do, honey? Walk down to the Whole Foods and grab us something fresh?
Listen, all I'm saying is a woman of my caliber should be eating at some of these new establishments.
Oh, money. you act so bougie and you just as broke as the rest of us.
I get my check. Look, we could have a Whole Foods on every single corner, and it still wouldn't change the fact that none of us can afford it. It's a food desert out here for those of us on EBT.
Man.
Look, you two finally agree on something.
Sound like renewed wedding vows to me.
That's
on my nerves.
I got some wedding vows for you, my dad.
Oh, boy, hush.
You see that? I told you. Hey, that's my food.
What you doing, man?
Who invited him?
That's on my nerves.
food.
My plate.
Shoot. Man, whoever made the mac and cheese better go crazy.
Aren't we all propaganda? Rich girl loves her mocha because that shit tastes good. Broke girl can't have one because she from the hood and the hood don't have Starbucks. If it did, I'd probably have one. If only it had the funds, but Section 8's rent's going up. The landlord needs his cash. The refrigerator needs food. My pop says we broke. Says he hates being broke. The darkness repeats him when the light switch don't work. Ask me why I didn't turn on the heat when I got home. I bet he knows it might be green, but that shit don't grow. A saying I engraved in every bone. I cut it into my tongue. It's my first language. I can show you its usage. I can even translate it. What's for dinner made? I'm not hungry. The now birthday cake is replaced with a card and a do you feel older yet? I'm old enough to know I don't get shit because we don't have it. I'm old enough to read utility, moving is a possibility, and with no money in hand, I hear Starbucks is looking to expand. And I know the hood can't coexist. So I'll type this up as a form of protest.
What's next, TJ? What's next?
I remember when I walked to the corner store getting my brother something to snack on, but EBT not accepted here was posted on the front door. I walked back home and I thought about that garden. It comes with the price when the whole neighborhood needs it. Not monetary, but meaning because the fresh produce in the market is too expensive for mama, who's a single mother of 5. The garden became my home's food pantry. Food stamps was lowered because I worked minimum wage and the government thought that was enough for a household of 6. My garden became my siblings and my second home. The gates became our doors. The tomato, cabbage, and squash patches became our rooms where we lie for hours. Pollination became the incense of our garden-made household. Mama will be lucky if food stamps make it throughout this month. It's winter, so the garden is no longer flourishing. We had to depend on that free reduced lunch at school, you know. Collect all the fruits and vegetables that people put in the shared basket, because we won't have anything on the weekends. Weekend mama works all day, so she can have enough money to pay all these goddamn bills, but filling up the fridge is the one she often forgets. The cycle will all be over soon when the garden comes back, but then there comes the price. Then there comes these restaurants called Malu's on the front stand, selling food originated from the black hand, but a white man owns it. If you turn the corner, it's still Ypsilanti, but an Ann Arbor restaurant selling food aplenty got their name stitched on their back so the whole world can see it. Blocking out the people who thrive in downtown, selling their food around town, but not in their neighborhood, but in mine. White-owned business, opening up their space in my neighborhood, thinking that they slick because they're giving 10% back, but in my neighborhood, we are 100% black. I don't care what standards you offer, I don't want it. Because once I accepted, my black hands turned to the gratuity basket for their success. We should learn to sustain ourselves on the land that we reside in. We shouldn't depend on the government giving us our nourishment. The societal structure has made us think that we have to pay to get our food, but imagine if we do like our ancestors did. Growing green so high that they shelter us. And the vines of those yams, peppers, potatoes, and squash, comforting us with their fragrance because we know it's the one thing that we do have. From the soil to our plates, we can make our own food without the white man putting a price on it. Those patches of vegetables can be where we spend our time instead of a line in the grocery store for overpriced produce. Our neighborhoods can make food, originated from the color hand. Imagine us taking control back on our land, making our own currency through our natural commerce, trading goods for food, and providing ourselves with nutrition. Imagine if we could sustain ourselves with just a garden.
This is the rebellion of the land, earth, and ancestors. The rebellion of the Potawatomi and the Loni. This is for their forced removal. Those natives to the land we are occupying.
Keepers of the culture, keepers of history and desire. This is the rebellion of their legacy and liberation, a memory of their sacrifice and dedication.
A reminder of the struggles of black, brown, and indigenous roots, from the Atlantic slave trade to borders and caravans, to assimilation or execution. We are not new to erasure and pain. Here, in this land, eugenics is not dead. Just rename gentrification. You see, gentrification is not the same as beautification, but it is the same as displacement, as being pushed or shipped out, as being murdered or raped for land, as redlining or the forced entry of the white man. Tell me, what is the difference?
We were called savages and forced off of our lands, and when white folks came, it was no longer our home, our language stripped, our culture dried out, and we are no different from the ghettos in this world, from Ypsilanti to South Bronx to Hunters Point, San Francisco, to Richmond, California, the city of pride and purpose.
And we hear a lot about borders, but never much about bridges.
Borders are to block folks out, and bridges are to extend a hand.
A language, a love that can defy the hatred in this world. We are asking you to help us build a bridge around our garden.
The place in which we grow.
The place in where our ancestors sleep. Will you water a new world with us?
Libations is a sacred African ceremony in which we call in everyone we hold holy as we regard ourselves and our community in a safe place.
Water, a symbol of ancestors, a revolution, and our joy.
Plant, a symbol of earth, roots, both present, past, and those that are to come. We open the circle 3 times as to pay homage to our community. We start with the names of our ancestors, those who have passed on, those who have held you in your darkest moments, those who have fought for the land that you reside on, those in and outside of your bloodline, those murdered by police, those whose names have been erased from our memories. Each time we say Ashe after each name is said aloud.
Anez.
Ashe.
Emmett Till.
Ashe.
Andres.
Ashe.
We invite the audience to share names with us as well.
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.
Then we open the circle. Then we open the circle for those who. Hold up. Then we open the circle for those who hold rage as a sacred means of survival. Those pushed out, displaced, those incarcerated. May their names never be forgotten. And after each, we say Ashe.
Mommy.
Ashe. Charlie.
Ashe.
Enrique.
Ashe.
We open up to the audience.
Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe. Lastly, we open the circle up for those who come after our footsteps. For all of the babies and the babies to come. All of our young leaders, artists, organizers, and fighters still forming in the womb. After each, we say, Ashe. Lastly, we will end on the name of Skeeter and say Ashe 3 times.
My kids.
Ashe.
Mahogany.
Ashe.
Lillian.
Ashe.
Skeeter.
Ashe. 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 Oh!
While we make space for grief tonight, we'll also make space for joy, for celebration. We must preserve our art, our stories, and our memories. We are the culture keepers. We are the griots of our generation.
And so it is. Ah, ah,
Okay, I gotta get my. Over there. Oh, you going to?
Yeah. Oh, I know. Huh? Well, I was going to talk to you about that. This new tenants. Well, what? By the end of the week? Where am I going to go?
Ooh, man. I thought that was going to be us, man. Can I get it?
Not time.
All I'm saying is enjoy that luxury with a little Skeeter. Let me go ahead and take my phone. You know who called it? Shows. Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Shit.
I'm so sorry.
Hello? Hello? What? G Mama then? Out in the week? Wait, what?
Everything okay?
Gee, Mama, we just got put out.
So it was ha, ha, ha when you thought it was only me. Now look at you. Look at God. I don't like this dusty, crusty place anyway.
Him and this nasty building you burn to hell.
Watch your mouth.
What?
You heard me.
Gee, Mama, you ain't worried about where you gonna live next?
Just because I am not running my mouth doesn't mean I'm not worried.
Don't never want to ask nobody for help, but look where you are now.
Watch your mouth, Thomas.
Watch my mouth, Thomas? I'm too old for this shit. I just asked you for help just last month. With all the money you making, you can't even help me keep my home.
All this money I'm making, I still don't have enough to cover the rent raise. I still barely have enough food to eat every day. And I'm supposed to give you money just so that we're both out by next month? You sound stupid.
Nah, we could have figured it out, like we always do. Selfish ass nigga don't know.
Enough, Thomas! Enough! Take some responsibility. You didn't call about not one near a job this month. This ain't nobody's fault but ours.
Y'all so foolish. Especially you, G Mama, for staying with his lousy self.
I don't need that right now.
I don't even know why you even hating. Honey, you gonna end right next to Skeeter crazy ass.
Skeeter? You would catch me working with the white man before I ever end up sleeping next to Skeeter.
Know what's crazy is? How everybody's surprised to see fire like they ain't smell a train of smoke sitting on the wind.
Like a long ways back, they ain't hear the trumpets blow before the colonizers start moving in. You stiff-necked, hard of hearing, blind and can't seem to understand. How you gonna rise up out of poverty if you ain't controlling the land? Know your history. You'll see this trend happen overs and overs again. Oh, because I got no degrees and I'm living off the write me off and say he tweaked off that gin. Oh, Skeeter, man, you crazy, man. Go on, laugh at my shoes and 2 pairs of pants. But I ain't the one that's begging for the home of another man to give me no kind of chance. It's a spell we under. Each generation can't seem to break the trends. Protesting for a slice of that pie, knowing the devil ain't got no friends. Tighten up, pull them shoulders back, lift your chin. Investing in each other is how we all gonna win.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah, I hear you. This ain't nothing new. It's like people ain't lost sight of what's going on around here, because housing cases around here, it's like watching the play. But knowing how it's going to play out, there's no point. It seems like we wasting energy. It seems we marking victims in the sad power system. Check another one, right? But you know how it goes. Ain't no monologue to explain how things should be, how they should see, how they should think that power's a funny scheme, make it seem so bad, can't even tell who's at loss here. Y'all know who's at fault here? Talking about perps. I ain't speaking about no victim. A victim is somebody who got knocked down and then go back for that rebound that got jacked and just took it laying down. What I'm trying to say is that a victim only stayed a victim if you let them call you that.
Who's you? What do you mean, you? Who you talking to?
I'm talking about soldiers, bro. Survivors, fighters, because they know can't nobody ever take their power. I got that from somewhere, though. Went to a city I'm all too familiar with. Spent about an hour, talked to a man who said the same thing about power, told me to only take it if I allow it. So I said, bet. I ain't tripping. Been spreading word around to whoever would listen. Don't be hard-headed and stubborn. Embrace that. Whatever happened to you, you bet not erase that. Whether they like it or not, they got to face that. It's something you lived through. You not no victim. Now is your chance to rewrite that rule. You better do as long as you can just to fight back too.
Fight? What's fighting been doing for us? We been getting beaten, tased, arrested. Why we gotta keep fighting? Why can't we just relax?
I don't think you getting it. Man, not every fight means fist meets face, a gun meets tank. I see you at church every Sunday. We both know God make a way, but you ain't always been with that amazing grace. I ain't going into specifics, but mama told me you had that tunnel vision. Always looking for a way out, but stuck at the end of a tunnel, right? But you fought for yourself, so why not your street? Since it's so complicated, we can talk about it, make it a motto. Even if you lose, just win. You get knocked back, you better get right back up. No matter what it comes down to, just win. So what he's saying is serious. We knew this was coming. Stop playing my nigga like he... Where Skeeter go?
I don't know.
The hell you mean you don't know?
Who you talking to?
Skeeter.
When I split myself open, I learned that I am a candle shedding light on the tragedies of my community. When I split myself open, I see that I am the sage dispelling the negative energy of my city, turning bullets into basketball courts, powdered hands into a prayer stance. I be the definition of black girl magic. I be the hood's miracle baby. I know that no matter how gray the skies may get, that the sun will rise again. When I split myself open, find my grandmother's tongue, calling me sweet Swahili. In this tongue, my name means all of us, and I translate this to mean I am because we are. I am because we are. I am because we are. I am my mama's hips, made like bongos, sweet like mangoes. I am the music of my ancestors, and thus we sing. You gotta pray when the Spirit says pray. You gotta pray when the Spirit says pray. When the Spirit says pray, you got to pray right along. You gotta pray when the Spirit says pray.
You gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. You gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. When the Spirit says dance, you gotta dance right along. You gotta dance when the Spirit says dance.
And thus I am a hallelujah. Amen. Ashe. And so it is.
Ypsilanti. Look, Ypsilanti in the Ypsilanti. Ypsilanti, huh? In the city with the grizzlies and flyers. Little community with functions and flyers. Little community, tiny but strong. Little England, but we stretch from Lincoln to the Brook. I had my very first sight of you in the Evergreens. Then we took it uptown in the 2nd Street. Down to the city and then back there on E-Course. Tyler Road, rode our bikes to the ice cream time. Marcos and his little fences. And we walking back home with the finger licking. And the squirrels running around like nobody business. City with some business, must it downtown. And very deep in the green and purple house. But you don't know nothing if you don't know about the cow. And you don't know nothing if you ain't stick around to see what the youth been doing around town. In the Ypsilanti. Ypsilanti. In the Ypsilanti. Ypsilanti, like babies from the 80s, this city helped to raise me. Down on 2nd Street where the skunks be going crazy. Mama had to do it all cause daddy was a lazy. Taught me how to hold it down, be strong and be a lady. It was shady all them duck times, fighting for the long run. Racing down the Huron. I had to keep my guard up and know this ain't no Florida. But from the floor we shoot up like shooting through the rooftop. And MC with the don't stop. In the Ypsilanti. Ypsilanti. In the Ypsilanti. Ypsilanti. In the city with the grizzlies and flyers. Little community with bunches of flyers. Little community times are strong. In the Ypsilanti. Ypsilanti, in the Ypsilanti, Ypsilanti, in the Ypsilanti, Ypsilanti, in the Ypsilanti, Ypsilanti,
Still living as an act of resistance.
James Baldwin said, and I quote, I love America, so I insist on the right to criticize her perpetually.
Period. I love Richmond. I love Ypsi, so I insist on the right to say what I want for my city.
I want home to be a place where every sexuality is supported, every race loved, every gender valid.
I'm trying to live in a place where I don't feel the sidewalks.
Where the kids are lulled to sleep by crickets and laughter.
Turning bullets into basketball courts.
Howard Hands at the prayer stance.
Growing hope, greens fighting so hot that they shelter us. Divine negotiations, peppers, potatoes, and squash.
No more public housing, we want more public art.
I want a Black History mural in Depot Town Alley.
We want rent control and affordable housing.
A community land trust for artists of color. A safe space for Black residents to come together.
This is a calling out. This is a calling in. This is a call to action.
Newcomers, we hope you're listening.
Ypsi originals, we hope you're feeling us.
Let's roll deep to every city council meeting.
Imagine Imagine us taking control of our land.
Making our own currency.
Imagine us buying the block back.
Keeping the block black.
We must preserve our culture before it is erased.
Some things don't need to change.
Some things should stay.
So MC, so Richmond.
Little communities, tiny but strong.
So country, so city.
Cornfields next to graffiti tracks.
Red brick buildings rich with history.
I love how when I see the bus driver, he looks at me like he knows me.
Feels like everybody is family.
Like the whole block got you.
What must have happened? I must have tapped in. I started seeing visions of success because of rapping.
Paved their own path, tried to come and last from the willow to the brook.
To the Andersons, they know my dog, they planned all this.
These streets are all about power.
Named after white men that once owned black bodies.
But now I own myself. I am the dream of my ancestors.
This legacy of love, a different kind of wealth.
They risked their lives to escape.
So that we can stand here today.
Now, we rename these streets.
I am H.P. Jacob.
I am Issa Stewart.
I am George the Baptiste.
She's a descendant of Richmond voodoo queens.
You know what's milk, baby?
Don't correct me, I speak black.
I'm trying to make a way for all my people.
A victim only stays a victim if you let them call you that.
Pull them shoulders back, lift your chin. Investing in each other's how we all gonna win.
Change gon' come. Oh, yes, it will.
For we are the ones.
Our city is filled to the brim with ancestral magic.
Can't you see that glow on us?
A star that will not die.
A moon too full of itself to fly.
And we come from a people too ocean to drown.
Too earthy to be buried.
Too much of our mamas to back down.
Hear us and hear us now.
Our city is not for the taking.
They dared to raise prices over our bones, wanted to break us open.
We are pavement.
Concrete, now what? We still graceful. We stay breathing and living as an act of resistance.
They say jump and we don't move a muscle.
Which is to say
That we are here to stay and ain't planning on going nowhere. We spill into the streets and call it ours. Y-P-S-I-L-A-N-T-I. Ypsilanti. And the Y-P-S-I-L-A-N-T-I. Ypsilanti. And the Y-P-S-I-L-A-N-T-I. Ypsilanti.
Thank you guys all so much. Hope you enjoyed the show. Really quickly, we would like to give a huge thank you and acknowledgments and express our thankfulness for many people that were all involved. Thanking our community partners, the organizations who have helped us make this night such a success. For those who came before us, whose stolen land we're on. For those who have taught the history of our city, our city's culture, and our city's resilience. Thank you.
Every helping hand, but we're able to mention a few. Let's include our directors and artistic leaders, the twins.
Woo!
And Molly, because if it wasn't for her,
Oh, wait. No, it's right there.
Also, we would like to thank our stage manager, Sam, and our awesome tech crew. If it wasn't for them,
Come on, Tech.
shout out to y'all, everybody. Also, our set designer, Lavinia.
Oh, hey, y'all.
Lavinia. And our filmmakers, photographers, and book designers. Buy our book in the lobby and also pre-order these awesome shirts. And thank you to our front house, to our To the front of our house team, our
Everybody get a
and the
flower.
whole NutriZone crew, and our key community partners, Ozone House and the Rise.
Let me get some more colors. Let me get some more colors.
Are they about to leave the vowels?
Let me get some more colors.
Thank you for Riverside Arts Center. Thank you, Trevor. Ypsilanti Downtown Library. Thank you, Kelly. Ypsilanti Community High School. Thank you, Miss Wynn, Mr. Merrill, and Miss Settles. Our friends at the Santa Barbara Ypsilanti and Growing Hope. Our sponsors, the NEA, UFM, Residential College, and Helensdale MFA program, the Cass Family Foundation, and the Ann Arbor District Library. And all of our volunteers, we couldn't have done it without you. From every parent, teacher, organizer, friend, artist, young leaders, and our peers who have supported us through this year, thank you. We hope you enjoyed the show and have a wonderful, powerful night.